Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do this look. So I'm just going to do the eyes. Previously do my foundation, my eyebrows, my lips, and cheek powders as well. So today I just did my eyes and I filmed that look for you. So it is a look using some camel colors, some deep browns, some medium browns, and some white shades. So these are all matte colors except the one that I used on the arch of my brow here. So on the arch of my brow I did use a shimmery shade, but that is the only one out of the whole look. So keep watching and I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, okay, so I have primed my eyes previous to starting this video. I used Paintry Paint Pot by MAC. So it is a pinky nude shade. Just for me being so fair, this is the perfect shade for me. I do have soft ochre as well. So soft ochre is a little bit more tan, good for kind of in the summer when I'm a little bit more tanned and a little bit more bronzed. But I use this so that it cancels out any blue veins in my eyelids. So I do have really veiny eyelids. So I put this on first, it cancels that out. It cancels out any darkness as well. So basically any uneven tones in my eyelids, this will help cancel it out, as well as prime it. So as it being a primer, it means it's going to keep the eyeshadow on a lot longer. So I will go ahead here. So normally what I do is I put a beige shade all over my eye. So this one is Vanilla Bean. So basically you can use any beige shade that you have. I just have my Makeup Geek eyeshadows in front of me. So those are the ones I'm using today for my the smoky eye that I'm doing. So I'm just going to put this all over the eye on top of the primer just so that it sets the primer as well. So it's not tacky or sticky. So I kind of put this all over just up to the eyebrow as well. So it fully covers my eyelid. It does look quite white right now, but it will blend through when all the darker colors are around there. So I put this all over, and again, this is just a nude. So this is just is the color of my eyelid. So whether your eyelid be a little bit darker or be a little bit lighter, this is just a color that I choose to use. But again, you can use any color. And again with the primer as well. So you can use any kind of primer, any brand of primer, anything like that. I just choose to use the soft ochre because it's one that cancels out my blue veins in my eyes. So next I'll go in with, this is the MAC 217. So I did talk about this in my favorite brushes. So I recently got this. This is called Revlon eyeshadow. They're just the individuals. It's called Satin. So the trend right now is all of these like orangey camel color shades. So you use this in your transition color. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do today. So again, I'm using MAC brush 217 and I'm just going to go in here and you can kind of see that I'm just putting it halfway across the eyelid and I'm just blending. So you blend in little circles. So it's going to transition from the white base that I put all over the eye to the browns that I'm going to add into my look as well. So a transition color is very, very important just because you always want to be able to see the difference between the depth in between the darker shades and the lighter shades within your eye. So again, I'm just doing the same thing on the other side. Again, still using the 217 MAC blending brush. Transition shade's also really good if, say, you put too much product, you can go back in and put a little bit of that transition shade on a clean brush and just go through and cancel out any colors that you may have put too much of. So I will come back to this shade. It's really nice. It's really blendable. I believe it was like $3.50 or something at the drugstore. So this is a really good option. The other option I do have here is Creme Brulee. So this is by Makeup Geek. So this is a very similar color and it is very smooth and very blendable as well. So I already used the Revlon one, so I don't need to go in with another one. I already used that guy. So next I'm going to go in with something like, this one is Mocha. Mocha by Makeup Geek. So it's a deep brown. So it's not the darkest brown I have, but it is a deeper one. So I'm going to take a brush like this. It's a little bit of a tapered brush, so you can kind of see here, it's just something that I can pack the product with. So I'm going to take a little bit of that that Mocha from Makeup Geek, and then I'm going to put it right on my eye. So I do tap off the excess, so just go like this on the product so that I don't get too much product or fallout underneath my eye. So as you can tell, I have already finished my foundation and I have put everything else on, so I'm just doing my eyes today. So I put a little bit in the corner. So it depends how deep you want this smoky eye. So if I want something just towards the outskirts and I want to brighten it towards the inside of my eye, which is the look I'm kind of going for today. I don't want too deep, but I also want it to look like a heavy smoky eye. So I do go in with this. I pack it on. So pack it on to where exactly you want it. So if you wanted the outskirts, I always put it on the outer corner. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to brighten the inside of my eye right here. So this is all going to be white and creamy, so it really brightens the eye. So then I go in with a brush like this. So this is the Smashbox crease blending brush that I talked about in my favorites. And I just go in and I'm going to blend and blend and blend until there's no harsh lines and until the product is fully blended in the corner of my eye where I want it. So again, I'm just going halfway. So I'm not going fully all the way in. I'm just going halfway and doing tiny little circles here. Okay, so you can notice a difference there. It's not as harsh of lines, so you can see that I have blended. So if you want to add a little bit more color, I am going in with the same color, Mocha, and just adding a little bit more color. A little bit deeper. But do remember that we will be smoking out the bottom lash line, so you don't want to go too crazy at the top because we are smoking out the bottom. So now I'm going with whatever's left over on the brush. I'm taking it all the way in. Just to add a little bit more color and a little bit more of a cut crease. So I'm going all the way in and I'm still blending. Okay, so next step, I am going to go in with the MAC 217 again. So I'm going to take a deeper color. So this one here is Bada Bing by Makeup Geek. So again, you can use anything. So this one I'm just using because these are my favorites. They're really super creamy and super affordable. But if you don't want to order online, you can use anything. Anything like these Revlon ones, they do come in multiple colors. So use anything like this and blend it through as well. So I'm just putting it on the edge here because I just want to make it a little bit darker at the edge, but I don't want to make it darker towards the center. So just in the edge here. Okay, so I am going in with the deeper color like I said, and mine was Bada Bing by Makeup Geek. So I'm going with the 217 and I'm just putting that right where I want it on the outskirts of my eye. So I don't want to go all the way in. And I'm taking another one because I do have two of these here. So I am taking another one of the Smashbox crease blending brushes and blending that deeper color out. So it is going up on this bone here. Optical bone, it's just right above my eye, so I am blending a little bit of the browns up there just to give the full smoky eye effect. Okay, so again, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of that deep Bada Bing and put it right in that crease. So just in the crease right there. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with the Smashbox, the blending crease brush, and I'm going to blend that area out. No harsh lines, but we do want it a little bit darker on the outskirts. So less dark in the middle, more dark at the outskirts. I'm just going to go in with the other eye here. Add some of that bada bing to darken that up. Put it right in the crease. Go in with Smashbox crease blending brush. Going with a little more of that bada bing just to make it as deep as the other eye here. So just in the crease. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with some white shades. So like the colors I used at the beginning, this is Beaches and Cream by Makeup Geek, as well as Vanilla Bean. So you can see the color difference here. One's a little bit lighter, one's a little bit more beige. So I'm using here the Urban Decay brush. I believe it's from the Naked One palette or something. So I'm going in with that, taking a little bit of the Beaches and Cream, tapping off the excess, and then going in right here and adding a little bit of that brightness. So I don't want to go a full deep eye. I want to add brightness. Can you see the difference there? So again, with a little bit more. And then I'm going to go in with something like the Vanilla Bean. So this one's the lightest shade that I have of the Makeup Geeks. And put a little bit more in that center area. Drag it down and put a little bit underneath as well, because I'm going to be smoking out the bottom. So I want to put the colors right where they are on the top. So I'm adding a little bit of that Vanilla Bean and a little bit of the Beaches and Cream right under there, just to help brighten up, and it will also help blend out the shadows. Take a little bit of a brush and wipe away any of the fallout that could have happened because of the eyeshadows, because I already do have my foundation, everything done. Ideally, if I'm doing a smoky eye, I'm gonna go in before my foundation, to do my eyes before my foundation, just so that I don't have any fallout into my makeup. So just adding a little bit more to this eye here, and I'm blending out with the Smashbox crease blending brush as well. So adding a little bit of that Beaches and Cream and that Vanilla Bean onto my brush. I'm adding it here, just to the inner corner. About 25% of the eye I'm adding the light color to, just so it really brightens it up. Okay, so you can kind of see there it's brightened up in the middle areas. And again, I'm going to take a little bit underneath. So if you see any harsh lines, take the crease blending brush, the Smashbox crease blending brush, take Creme Brulee by Makeup Geek, put a little bit on your brush because it is that orange tone, tap off the excess, take that in and blend out all of the brown. So blend out any harsh lines. It's going to add a little bit of color, but it's not going to make it too dark. As opposed to if you took like a dark brown and you put that on your brush and then you blend it out with that, that will make it too dark. Okay, so we have the top of the eye done there. So I did just do more of a matte eye. I didn't use any of the shimmers yet. I'm going to do a little bit of a shimmer on the top of the eyebrow, but I did not use any shimmers in the eye. So this is a matte look. I don't know if you can see there. It is a matte eye. So again, I used browns, I used a camel shade, and then I also used light white tones. So again, taking that MAC Painterly paint pot, the one that I primed my eyes with, I'm going to take a little bit. So this is the brush I talked about in my top 10 favorite brushes. It's a little tiny brush. I'm going to take a little bit of that Painterly paint pot, wipe a little bit excess on my hand, take that in, and I outline my brow. So I'm going to add a little bit more to my brush here. So like I said, it's going to help with taking away any little hairs that you may have that are growing in. You haven't went to your eyebrow person yet. You haven't had time to pluck them. So it's going to take away any of those little hairs, but it's also going to have a tacky area on the eye so that you could go in with like with a shimmering color to highlight that brow bone. So I will show you here. It makes a huge difference. So I'm just going to do the other eye. Okay, so you can kind of see I put a little bit of that highlight under there, there's a little line under my brow just to define it. And then I'm going to take a color like Shimma Shimma. So Shimma Shimma is from Makeup Geek as well as there's Kitten from Stila. So those are definitely my two favorite. I am out of Kitten right now, so I do need to pick up Kitten. But this is very, very similar. So I'm going to put a little bit on that same brush, tap off the excess, then I'm going to go in and I'm going to just put it on the high points of my eyebrow. Do you see where I'm putting it there? So it blends the two, it blends all of your smoky eye that you just did as well as your eyebrows together. So I do go in and I blend it out a little bit with the same brush just because I don't want any harsh lines, like a line of the Shimma Shimma and then a line of the smoky eye. But you can see there that it makes a huge difference. So again, high points of my eyebrow. Everyone's eyebrows are so different too. So this is my high point of my eyebrow, but your high point may be at a different area of your face. It may be a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, a little bit thicker. So everyone does have different eyebrows. But this one is where I put my shimmery color. So you can kind of see there that there's a difference. It shows a little bit more of a defiant color. So something like this, you add a little bit of a highlight to the top of the brow. Okay, so I'm gonna go in the bottom. So I did add a little bit of the vanilla bean to the inner corner, so I'm just gonna make sure that I have some there. Okay, so I have some of that white just to brighten up under there. And then I'm gonna take something like a brush like this. So again, this is from my brush set. It's a little flat tipped brush, so it isn't super expensive, it's not super thick, it's pretty thin. I'm going to take a little bit of that mocha. So this is the matte brown. So I'm going to take a little bit of that. Tap off the excess. I'm going to look up and I put it under there. Right under the eyelashes on the bottom lash line. Put it under the lashes and just blend that out. So again, you don't want it to look too thick, but you want it to look smoky. So you blend that out. Make sure it blends with the side of the top eyeshadow. So you make sure you blend it down so it blends kind of together. So something like that. So it makes a huge difference. If you want to go darker, use the darkest shade that you used. But with this is kind of a daytime smoky, so I don't want to go too heavy and too crazy. So I'm just going to blend it out a little bit with a little bit of that deep brown that I used. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the other eye. Again, I'm using the matte smoky brown color. I'm going to go in here under my lash line. And you blend it out. So with this kind of technique, you can kind of use any brush. You can use a pencil tip brush. You can use a smaller brush than this. I prefer this one just because it really blends it out when I want to. Add a little bit of that dark color just because I did already on this eye, so I kind of need to balance it out on this one. When you add your mascara to the bottom lashes too, it makes a huge difference. Blends everything together. I'm going to Add a little bit of mascara to the bottom lashes. So I have found one that I really like. I did get it at a 500 points perk from Sephora. So this one is the Bobbi Brown mascara. It's just called Black, I guess, and Smoky Eye Mascara. So that's the one that I'm using right now. I'm currently just going to put it on my bottom lashes. You can see the brush. It's just a normal brush head. And that's my favorite, is when they're just normal. So they're not super plastic and they're not super hard either. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of mascara here. And like I stated, I do have eyelash extensions, so I don't need to put any mascara on the top. But if you do not have eyelash extensions, this is where I would be putting mascara and then adding some false lashes just for that extra dimension and that extra lift to your eye. I always take an extra little spoolie, so something like this, and I just put it on the bottom and make sure there's no clumps or excess mascara that does not need to be there, just because your little lashes at the bottom are super important to make the look whole. So I did a little bit there.
I'm going on the side.
I'm going to take the little spoolie here and just make sure there's no clumps or anything on my bottom lashes. This one's always a worst eye, just because I sleep on this side. So my lashes are always a little wonky on this side opposed to this one. So if there's any harsh lines, just go in here. I'm taking the MAC and I'm going to make sure there's no harsh lines here. Okay, you can go on with an eyeliner. It's your decision if you want to go on with an eyeliner at this point. So normally I do a cat eye. So today I'm going to use the Physicians Formula eyeliner. This is a felt tip liquid eyeliner. So it is your choice if you want to finish here with mascara or with eyelashes. But today I am going to add a little bit of eyeliner. And then I shut my eye. Make a little bit of an arch so I can connect the dots. Same thing on this side. With this side, I do pull my eye closed just because this side automatically closes. Like I can close my eye like that. This one I cannot. So have a smooth line there. Then I'm going to go in and make a little tick, like I said. Make a little tick to where I would want the wing of my eyeliner. And then I'm going to go in and connect the dots. And if you need to sharpen up any edges on your eyeliner, I always go with something like this. So I always take a little tiny brush and then I take some Bioderma. So I dip it in, put a little bit on there, and then I go in with this. So if I want a really sharp point on my eyeliner, I go in with this. Okay. Okay. So that is my final look there. You can go with deeper and darker colors. You can switch up the colors as well. But for this one, I just went with a few orange shades and also a few browns and also those white shades just to brighten up the inner corners of the eyes. So that is my smoky eye. That is my very first tutorial. So I enjoyed it. I hope you come back for some more, and I hope you give me a few recommendations of what you would like to see. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.